Hello there, builders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge. Episode 40, the tower is ready for the grand finish. So once I have this floor done, I will go seek out the grand research bench. Needed. And then I'll also need to punch out like a piece of the floor. Maybe I'll punch it out right here. Meaning that this won't be a door. It'll be just a wall. So that the top floor is connected to the lower floors. And putting it here means it won't be like it won't look stupid. I like it. It'll work for me. Alright, Day Sleeper. Let's go talk to Colin. You have 7 coins. Well, isn't that magical? You got basically nothing else. You have a chicken. And a dog. Although I don't need more dogs. And you have damson saplings. Some grilled fish, sure. I haven't actually done like a feast in a while. So we could. Are you even selling a wolf? If you have a wolf, that means your carry weight's pretty good. Plus a dog, so I will pay you in hay. Except, that means we have another domestic chicken. 2 female chickens. Alright, raffle timer. For chicken number 2. Up. That was a pretty good trade for like a wandering dude. Normally they're way worse. I could put sconces out here. Yeah, I could fire them from I think, right? I'm pretty sure sconces work for fire arrows. Archers near the structure can flaming. So I could put them on the walls. If we wanted to use that, but if one of my goals is to like rework the gatehouse, I'll probably not need that to do that. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I did not have a blueprint in mind when I embarked upon this series. I just kind of like came up with it on the fly. Which is why I had a lot of like measure once, cut twice type situations. But over many iterations and accidents, it turned out pretty nice. It also, designing like this might trigger some people's pareidolia. Having, like, 2 windows here kind of looks a bit like a face. A bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But the front doesn't. The front doesn't have that same sort of design. So are we gonna be... Yeah, okay. The push for clay continues. This seems to be a hauling thing. So, who loves hauling? Klein, you love hauling. You start hauling. And then Silver Knight and Viking will also be set to 1 haul. And the hope is that they pull in clay so that we can make the clay tiles. Where are you going, Father Prax? Wait, sir, for real. What could you possibly be hauling? You're hauling a chicken? No, you're killing a hare. Wait, why? Were you hungry? Because, like, I guess I don't have animal feed. Yeah, I should consider having animal feed as a separate stockpile, because I don't think he eats hay. Okay, noted. Let's do that. Animal feed, until we have, let's say, 20. Made of cabbage, beet, carrot, mushroom. This is fine. And then I'll just put feed here. Seems fine. So this is a high priority food. Is animal feed raw? What is it? Material? Fodder? It would be fodder. Duh. Okay. Animal feed that goes there. And here we do not allow. Oh, do not allow animal feed. I think these animals eat animal feed. Maybe not the dog, though. But get trained, or else. I don't know. Alright, there we go. That should help with Father Prax's diet. Alright, the supporting arches is done. And now we're just waiting on more of the clay being hauled. Last time I checked, there was 1,000. Okay, you're hauling 40 out of 60, so haul 60 out of 60. Perfect. So yeah, it's just a matter of hauling. But very happy to have a tower like this. Alright, chicken, your name is? Terminal Serenity. Don't you already have it? Yeah, you're already an animal. Reroll. Sloaner. Bradlock, that's not how you play. Like, for real. You're feeding stones to our pets. Now it's finally getting colder. I'll queue up ice blocks to 20. And I'll put some torches out there, just for, like, flaming arrows from the sky. If we want it. Have we made any of the armor yet? We've made the helmets. The armor, we probably haven't the materials for. But sorry, Brody, that means that I'm going to be waking you up. So this is a fine mail helmet and a good mail helmet. So let's take the good one, I guess. There's not really any other armor here yet. We're still waiting on it. Quantum, what are you wearing? A good mail helmet? Okay, that's fine. Ooh, Glitch had a birthday. So the other holdup for the mail armor might be that we're out of wood. That is a... Or actually, we just haven't hauled it. You know what? Everybody hauls. At this point, I feel like a lot of our progress is a lack of wood and a lack of clay, and that's just like a lack of hauling, so... Today is haul day. It's autumn cleaning. You've heard of spring cleaning, well here we're just backwards. Apparently we have a tower in Australia, and the seasons are backwards. We're a penal colony in Australia. Lore accurate. So I'll try to track what they're doing to make sure that the hauling that they're doing is like productive hauling and not stupid hauling. And then some of this is also, I think the craft I'm going to raise up to 2 so that it's not higher priority than haul. Some people have ones that are higher than, so it doesn't necessarily mean everyone's going to be hauling, but basically if they're like not working on their most important tasks, they'll be hauling. Which it does seem to be working. The clay is already down to 900 and there's more people coming for baskets of it. Call it harvest season? Yeah. I lived in Maine for a long time, and in northern Maine, they would have harvest celebrations, because in northern Maine, there's a lot of potato farming. So you'd have, like, schools that would take literally time off from school to do potato farming. Or harvest, rather. Because there was, like, more potatoes than field hands to harvest them. So like school children had, you know, I'm sure in like West Virginia they'd yearn for the mines, but in Maine they yearn for the potato fields. So here's the research we wanted. The stonemason's bench. Hostile rats. Oh god. Stay away from that. Don't want any part of that. So the stonemason's bench is so that we can make trebuchet ammo, and I'll just plop it up here with everything else. One big old mess. And the hauling tasks definitely working because we have lots and lots and lots of clay ready. And our wood is okay. So I think we're good. We didn't even need a complete day for that. We already have plenty of material to smelt. So some of the rats are encroaching pretty close to our clay zone. And as you can see, Cool Whip here was like running away from them. So I'm going to kind of babysit this area. My guess is the rats will end up dying off pretty quick. I think there's just a few left. Oh my god, they're being really effective in killing things. Sort of. Okay, picking a fight with the boar is pretty stupid, though, I must say. I mean, the boar seems pissed. Uh-oh. More than anything. Oh, God! I think the rats tripped a fire trap, guys. What wounds did we have? Are these from the fire traps? No, maybe we did trip the fire traps. I'm not convinced it was the rats. Good job! You stepped where you shouldn't, and you burnt for it. Whatever. They're stupid. I think I'm going to get wood carving and stone carving too. But, let's get at least 20 trebuchet projectiles made so that if we do end up having a siege, we have something to shoot at them with. As it doesn't divert too much attention from... What the heck is that? Why do I have like a random... Oh, there's no water left. Got it. We had pulled all the water that was available in the flooded cellar. For ice, I'm assuming? Which is weird, because, like... Temperature not met? Yeah, I'm not really sure how we pulled the water for no reason, but whatever. Speaking of which, cheers. You look away for 1 second and the world's on fire? Well, some idiot stepped on the fire trap. Wasn't me. I didn't tell him to do it. Probably my fault, but only partially. At least they didn't bring the fire all the way back here to the flame bridge. It seems like there's like what? Oh no, there's a bunch of rats still. So today is the final sowing day, where we don't sow past autumn 7, which means heading into the winter there will be a lot more manpower dedicated to like making clay bricks and constructing the tower, and then we'll go out and acquire the thing we need for the Fellows Library. God, that's gonna be so annoying. Is there a way for me to just shut that up? It's like, yeah, I know there's no water underneath. I'm just gonna deconstruct it. I'll put back the well if it floods again, but that's gonna be so annoying to have like a red cancel icon just floating underneath in perpetuity. Yeah, forget that. Get rid of that, please. All the kilns are firing. So how many ingots do we need for the armor? It takes 65. Yeah, we're not that close. Takes a lot of labor to turn the... Because you have to make them into iron ingots, as you can see. Steel requires iron ingots. So you take the nuggets into 30 nuggets into ingots, and then ingots into plus coal into steel. It's a long... It's not a complex process chain, but it's a long one. And part of the problem is because we only have like one active smith. When he's not working on it, it's not really progressing. I wanted to pick up silvering and then wood carving, and that's so that we can try to make the library even fancier. So silvering is a task where you take silver ingots, not that we really have any silver ingots, which is a problem, and you make them into nice wall mirrors, which are very pretty and help to make a room look attractive. And at some point we can do like wall reliefs for art. Do we have any good artists? I forget. I think we do have one passionate artist and skilled. Yeah, Silver Knight. So once we have all our... Now we already have all of our trebuchet projectiles, but I don't necessarily want to burn through our entire limestone stockpile because we only have 100 left or so. But we can consider like wooden art and stuff like that. So as far as how close we are to our goal... Let's get rid of this brick floor. Because I think we are probably due for another study group, I'd imagine. Oh, is that not a big enough hole to... Oh, it's because it doesn't have a roof yet. I jumped the gun. I don't really need a druid, yeah. I don't really need to hold a Oak Brethren temple thing. Oh, who got hurt now? Oh, you're just old burns. So I'm not gonna bother doing anything with this druid. Just trying to get the clay on. If I ask someone if they're a good artist and the answer is I am passionate, you suspect that they're not a great artist. That's fair. That's very fair. I would probably make the same assumption myself. Now with like AI art everywhere, I can be like, well, at least I know how to draw fingers and the number of fingers that a thing should have. Because God knows AI art doesn't know that. So disturbing. I hate when it turns out in games too, because it's like video game. I mean, you have artists, right? Like you really can't. I mean, I guess like original Dwarf Fortress with like ASCII code, maybe there wasn't an artist, but like generally modern games have artists. Maybe not even good artists. I don't even care. Like take RimWorld. RimWorld's barely requires artistry. I mean, it does require some like pixel art, but like it doesn't require you to go through art school. I'll put it that way. But for a lot of these like AAA titles to use very obviously AI generated art for like posters and stuff, it's like, can you get any more lazy? Because it looks hideous. It is hideous. It bothers me so much. And it's obviously putting like people out of work, like actual artists out of work, and it's like, for what reason? This benefits no one. And most gamers don't like it. In fact, I do have a lot of bias about some of the things that the younger generations are adopting, like, replacing math skills with doom scrolling and bed rotting. But with that said, the youngest generation's pretty wholesale rejection of like AI garbage is at least encouraging. Because there is room for AI. Like, I don't hate it across the board. Like, if it's solving folding proteins for medicine, cool. Like, whatever, that's something that it is good at, that I totally accept as like a fair use for it. But that's not how we're using it, let's be honest. But the young people being like, yeah, screw AI is like, yes, I agree. Please stay with that. Stay with that opinion. Because things aren't going to get better until more people are like, yeah, screw AI. Alright, so we're moving the siege equipment. We have enough of a roof. We're moving the siege equipment back up. I might have to tweak the top floor once the ceiling's fully done to make sure that it's designated as part of the library. But we'll put the trebuchet ammunition here, and the ballista ammunition here and there, and that should keep us nice and protected. Merlin's at the top edge. I wasn't planning on it. Not for now. Not yet. I have other things I'd rather work on than cosmetic additions. With that said, I've already done it on the floor below, so yeah, whatever. But that's technically, as far as I'm concerned, part of the library, whereas the top floor is really not. Bye-bye, Druid. Yeah, analytic AI is a very different beast from the plagiarism machine that is generative AI. And take it from someone who is like... Oh, it's funny, actually. I have... Every now and then... This is funny. Like, so I'm a moderator of the Twitch subreddit. And every now and then I'll have a question that needs answering, and I'll find me with the answer. I'll do like a browser search, and the top result will be a comment I made like 3 years ago with the answer. Which is hilarious that it circles back to my own content. So I know that like a lot of generative AI was trained on like Reddit. Most language modeling used Reddit as a huge resource, and I've spoken about this a little bit on Discord. But it's as a moderator, I am seeing a lot of astroturfing spam bots, and I'm sure they're scams. I mean, I haven't checked, but it would not surprise me if they're scams. Astroturfing services and products on Reddit, and all the bots learn to spam from Reddit. So Reddit created the problem. Reddit allowed, I mean, even if Reddit said no, bots aren't allowed to use our content, I'm sure they would anyway, because, you know, most large AI models just plagiarized everything as much as they could, because that's what they did. But now I see Reddit's enshittification as a direct result of it going, yes, we'll train all your bots, and now it's being assaulted by bots. So Reddit has a lot of auto moderators that are like on steroids now, blocking all of the and shadow banning all of the like the spam accounts. And I see it constantly. I see it ramped up like in a way that I never saw before. So I'm seeing like the back end of the internet, the moderation side of the internet, and it's bad. It's bad. I mean, when people are like, yeah, the internet's all bots, it's still an exaggeration, but oh my God, is it bad? Just the amount of astroturfing spams and scams that I see on a daily basis is, I would, if I had to put a percentage, 1,000% more this year than last, maybe 2,000% more than this year than last. And it's not that I'm more attentive to it or attuned to it. It's just so much more. And it's so annoying. I hate it. You know, the entire internet. And it's funny, like coming from a content creator who's like competing for your attention. It's like, yeah, but I don't clickbait you. You know, you choose. If you watch my videos, it's because you chose to. I didn't like sneak it into your feeds, right? But yeah, the internet's become just like an attention grabbing current, like capitalism machine. And it's weird to think, like, I miss the days of like really ugly GeoCities sites, you know, ones that weren't marketing to me. Ones that just, like, was a nerd sharing a passion with other nerds. Like, you don't get a lot of that nowadays. Everything is, like, nickel and dimed. And not in a good way. But I digress. That's just my 2 cents on the whole AI slot bots. If I could point a trebuchet at them and start launching, oh, I would. So we are nearly done with the top floor. We just have a few finishing touches until it's complete. And then we'll go out and caravan to the grand table that I need. Let's see how close we are to the books. So last time I checked, it was like 1650 out of 2K, I think. Oh, come on, stop resetting. And we are 1800 out of 2K. And we're down 2 textbooks, and 2 textbooks that I need, as you can see, I know I'm in the way, is not going to be that hard to get. We'll just bring the bull out to like a few other regions and buy 2 more textbooks. That's a pretty low threshold to meet. Yeah, speaking of which, being, you know, like the days of GeoCities nerds sharing their passion with other nerds, that's pretty much how I got my start. I never intended to become a content creator. I just enjoyed making like weird videos and tutorials on games I enjoyed. So like I have old guides on like Kerbal Space Program or RimWorld way before I was ever really formally a content creator, in quotes. I hate that term, which is what, hence the quotes. And I just did it as like a passion project for fun. And my wife's in academia, so I was moving around pretty regularly as she was on 1 or 2 year contracts, and we moved like 4 or 5 times. And every time I moved, I would have to find a new job in the area. And a lot of the times I was in like rural communities that didn't have tech jobs. And this was pre-COVID, so everyone was still like, no, you can't work remotely. It's like, there's no reason why I can't. I don't need to be in the office. You don't need to be over my shoulder. I'm not trying to like office space you. I will do my software development tasks, even if I'm remote, just maybe not a 9 to 5, but I'll put in the same amount of effort and work. So I was constantly having to find new work, and it sucked. And, some of my content had enough viewership that I was like, yeah, I finally was able to turn on ads. And I turned on some ads, and I was like, you know what? It makes a little bit of money. Not a lot of money, but it makes a little bit of money. And I just was like, all right, I'll do it part-time. We'll see where it goes. So to circle back to what I was saying, I started off as a content creator just because I was passionate about it. And I would also say that, like, I would never recommend anyone becoming content creators, because honestly, it's a horrible business to be in, where 99% of all content creators never make a dime. And those that do often don't make much. And I can totally see why a lot of them, like, a lot of other like YouTubers, not just gaming, but just YouTubers in general, are like sponsored up the wazoo. It's because it's like the most reliable source of revenue, and everything is volatile. I mean, YouTube and Twitch use AI tools to moderate and to suspend accounts, and people's entire livelihoods disappear due to AI now, because it will be like, oh yeah, you like were copyright trolled 3 times and your counterclaims were rejected, and we're going to shut down your channel. And it's just them being like trolled to death. This happens constantly, sadly. It makes it a pretty scary industry to work in, because like everything you work towards can just disappear overnight, and there's nothing you can do about it, which is just not a cool, there's not a lot of other lines of work that would be true. Unless you're caught on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert. Like, there's just not a lot of other things you could do where like your entire career disappears. And for it to disappear because of AI, I mean, I know a lot of people are losing their jobs to AI, but it's a little different when you're just like removed from the platform because like some AI decided to do that. And then you're like, I refute the claims. And the same AI model goes, nah, no. And this happens daily to like hundreds of creators. But if you don't have like a baked in passion for content creation, it's like, yeah, don't. Because your first few years at it, unless you get lucky or whatever, your first few years at it, you're going to get nowhere. You're going to spin your wheels. So if you don't love what you're doing, you're going to hate it. And it's going to ruin gaming for you. And I was asked recently, like, what games do I play for pleasure? And what was interesting is I looked at my like Steam library, which is where 99% of the games I play are, apart from like Vintage Story and Star Sector. And I was like, surprisingly, almost none. Very, very, very few games do I play for funsies. Almost all of them are like somewhat work related. And if I hated gaming, that would be brutal. Luckily, I just enjoy what I do. I really enjoy it. Games like I get frustrated with some of the bugs with Going Medieval. I like lost my crap a minute ago when the scholar showed up and he's like, I'm gonna wait here for 22 seconds and then I'm gonna leave. It's like every now and then, yeah, I freak out. But like generally speaking, the games I play, I really enjoy, and the ones I don't enjoy, I do not play. But yeah, it's interesting because I would definitely count myself as I've been a gaming nerd my entire life, and I love gaming. And if I wasn't a content creator, I would be gaming anyway and burning the midnight oil just to log a few more hours. But increasingly, the internet is becoming a place for not people like me, which is sad to see because it's like a glorious internet community, and I love what it could be. And I see the direction it's going, and it's like, nope, it's becoming dystopian very quickly. Can you stop domestic animals from going into my food cellar? Yeah, fence. A fence will stop them. So my domestic animals are here, and they don't go into my food cellar. Now, what will go into my food cellar is, of course, like cats and dogs, but like they kind of need to. Because if you have rodents, like rats in your food cellar, you're going to want your cat in there anyway, because how are they going to stop the rodents if they don't have access to it? And then the dogs are haulers, and they're going to be hauling like fruits and veggies into my root cellar. So they're required in there as well. So we have Carnot here, who is another scientist of sorts. Yeah, welcome. Let's take a look. So they have a deep chest laceration. They are a gourmet, strapping gourmet. Ah, nice. And you're a candlelit quartermaster. You have a double passion in art, a passion in intellectual, a passion in speechcraft. And we will offer you refuge. Now, what I do not have yet is a bedroom for you. And you're going to have basically face the same treatment as Big Brody did, which is like, enjoy your gatehouse. I laugh because it's like open and we're heading into winter, so you're going to like low-key very much freeze in that room. Or room in air quotes. But we'll do what we can. So, jobs. Let's do the jobs. We'll let you convalesce. You're an intellectual that actually likes hauling, which is like super strange. I'm all for it. That's cool. If that's what you want. And then as soon as I'm done with this, I'll do the raffle timer. So, management. Give you no ugly apparel. No pack meals, good drinks only. And you are coming in. And I'll have you strip off your clothing. That sounds wrong. But I'll have you replace your clothing with other stuff. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. All right, giveaway timer. Eligibility is up. And who should build the bed? Maybe Glitch? They're eligible to be a bard. Yeah, I don't really care. So good luck. Good luck in the raffle. Alright, taking a look. We still have 4 more ceiling tiles yet to build. It's not a stability issue. It was a lack of clay tiles issue, which we just built the bricks. So we're almost done with the library. We have like one Merlin, 4 ceiling, and then it should be all set to go get the table that we need. So very close to goal. Glitch, did you actually build the bed? I see you're still getting the resources to build it. Oh, okay, yeah, you did actually get all the resources. I thought it was just the first haul, and I was like, oh man. Really making her work for this. Or him. Him? Him. Them some epic mutton chops, or sideburns. We have not patched you? Good lord. Dainty Duck. Silver Knight, please. The dude's bleeding everywhere. Like puddles. Like, who needs ink for books? Just writing in blood. Didn't, what, Saddam Hussein do that? A Quran in his blood? Yes! He did. I was right. Ha! I know history! See? I'm erudite too. The Blood Quran. Okay, well, he's got a bedroom. Knowing that it is Autumn 9, we are absolutely going to need to, like, actually build a proper bedroom, or, we're going to rescue him and then, like, freeze him to death. So, I'm going to start the excavation now so that we can keep whatever their name is from dying. So now that they're in the base, you hate ranged combat, but like, whatever. This clothing is needs replacing, but your hat was auto-equipped. Okay. You are going to... Oh, you know, I haven't checked in the range for a while. Gadath is still rocking an 8. That's pathetic. And then Brody, you're going to give it up to Carnot so they can train as well. So Carnot, you are going to need a short bow, which I think is in my general stockpile. There's a superior one here somewhere. 2 of them. Sweet. Let's give you the healthier one. And then Red Mist, you don't have any bow, but that's actually correct, because you are Grand Librarian, so I don't actually want you to risk combat, like, at all. Okay, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, you haven't actually chosen to put on clothing, but whatever. You'll get there when you get there. Ooh, and the ceilings got done. So if I'm, is this a... Yes, it worked. And it is luxurious. We've gone up a tier. So there's only 1 tier left after luxurious, which is, what is it called? Going medieval room quality. It doesn't follow the same as RimWorld. It does its own thing. Palatial. No, there's 2 more. There's opulent and then palatial. So we finally hit luxurious, which is a score of 750. Where is the score? It's like a combined score. So there's opulent and palatial, which is above it. But yeah, I'm glad that we're luxurious now. It should be, at least luxurious, to meet my desires, or whatever. And then on the top floor here, we have two new rugs. So I'll put them in. Done. Alright, and the new researcher's name is Krieg. Where are you? I've like panned past you several times, haven't I? There you are. That's a cool name, Krieg Carnot. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Tower Intellectuals.